What is up, my friends? The history books are open. The artifacts are dusted off. And I've got to be honest, checking the archives doesn't give me the cold sweats anymore. It's a beautiful thing. We have a massive show today. We're heading straight to Red Square, right into the heart of Moscow's State Historical Museum. A place of power, piety, and secrets hidden in plain sight. We need to talk about Alexander Pushkin. Is he the unluckiest man in Russian history, or did he throw it all away because he lost his head? We're also diving into the Polish Winged Hussars. Did they win battles by making terrifying noises? Or is that just a myth? And Vladimir Lenin preaching communist equality while driving around in a luxury Rolls Royce. Are you having a laugh? Plus an update on a Napoleonic Imperial Eagle with some of the most beautiful cover-up work I've ever seen. Before we get stuck into it, drop a comment below. Smash the like button if you enjoy the video. And please, hit subscribe. Let's talk about the father of Russian literature, Alexander Pushkin. Pushkin was brilliant, world-class writer. But he was also notorious for duels. Pistol duels were how Russian nobles settled disputes in the 1800s. By the early 1700s, dueling was killing off huge chunks of the aristocracy. The Tsar tried to outlaw it, called it foolish. They didn't listen. Pushkin survived 28 duels. 28. How? He stayed calm. His opponents showed up angry and reckless. Pushkin kept his cool and lived. But the 29th duel cost him his life. I've got a theory, gentlemen. Tinfoil hat time. It came down to his wife, Natalia. She was a notorious flirt. At a public function, Pushkin saw her enjoying the attention of a handsome French officer, Georges Dante. Jealousy took over. Pushkin challenged him. But this time, Pushkin didn't stay cool. He let anger drive the plan. They began 20 paces apart, with a boundary line at 5 paces. Pushkin charged the line. He wanted a point-blank kill shot, but it failed. Dante fired first, hit Pushkin in the midsection. 2 days later, Pushkin was dead. He lost his cool, and he lost his life. Now, speaking of absolute tragedies, let's go all the way back to the Stone Age. The museum's prehistoric gallery is unreal. They have the skeletons of a boy and a girl, found 160 kilometers south of Moscow, in a town called Zaraisk. They were buried head-to-head in one grave, undisturbed for over 20,000 years, covered in thousands of ivory beads carved from woolly mammoth tusks. And when discoveries like this happen, the theories start flying. Crushed by a mammoth during a hunt. Forensic experts ran tests. No broken bones. But on their teeth, they found transversal lines, signs of severe starvation. Game was becoming scarce. Here's the harsh reality. Each ivory bead took at least an hour to make. They were decorated to send a message to the gods. Researchers believe these children were sacrificed, sent into the hereafter covered in ivory, so their desperate society could survive. It's haunting. It's strange. And it shows how brutal life became. Now, let's head over to Bullshit Island for a minute. There's a legend about the Polish Winged Hussars, that their wings made a hissing or buzzing noise, and that's what terrified Russian armies. In what universe would vibrating feathers scare hardened soldiers in a battlefield? A hussar enthusiast and sound expert tested it. Sensitive recording equipment. Wings on horseback. They heard wind. They heard flags. They heard the horse. But no buzzing. And even if there was, cannons, muskets and screaming would drown it out. So the sound theory? Dead. It stays on Bullshit Island. The real reason they won? Their weapon. A 20-foot hollow lance designed to impale and shatter. Russian infantry pikes were around 15 feet. A hussar could hit you 5 feet before you could touch him. They were lightning fast. Then boom, through the line. Russian muskets were inaccurate. And the visual? Thousands charging, ground shaking like an earthquake. Those wings emerging through gun smoke. You wouldn't have dry pants either. A hussar charge was certain death. If you offered me a modern tank or a 17th century winged hussar right now, I'm taking the hussar every single day of the week. Speaking of absolute power, can we appreciate the madness of Ivan the Terrible? He was crowned the first Tsar of Russia. He wanted absolute power, answering to God alone. The boyars pushed back, wanted him to rule by consensus. So Ivan pulled a master move. He packed his bags and left Moscow. The boyars couldn't run the country without him. They begged him to return. He agreed, but only if he got his own secret police. Then he ruled through terror, torture, boiling, flaying, to cement his empire. But inside the museum, there's a hair shirt linked to Ivan, a scratchy shirt worn by monks, a symbol of remorse for sin. So why would Ivan wear it? Because late in life, he realized he had to face God. He wanted paradise, but he knew what he'd done. He even commissioned prayers for his victims, but he'd killed so many, he couldn't remember their names. Legend says he wore the hair shirt for the rest of his days. Ivan the Terrible became Ivan the Remorseful. Mad, isn't it? And now for a ridiculous historical cover-up, the Napoleonic artifact in the 1812 gallery. The museum displays a French Imperial Eagle. They claim it belonged to Napoleon's 3rd Infantry Regiment, but losing an eagle in battle was a disgrace. And according to the history books, the 3rd never lost theirs. A Canadian reenactor traveled to Moscow to investigate. They took high-definition photos and made a discovery. Someone had faked it. The number 3 was inauthentic. Under the light, you could see the original number was 15. An authentic 3 had been slapped over a damaged 15 to make the trophy more impressive. It likely belonged to the 115th Regiment, decimated at Waterloo. For history nerds, that is welcome news. But I want to finish with pure hypocrisy. Some of the most ridiculous political behavior I've ever seen. After the 1917 revolution, Lenin and the Bolsheviks ended the opulent lifestyle of the Tsars. They preached equality. Lenin warned against bourgeois tendencies. So why does the museum have a Rolls Royce silver ghost with an all-leather interior and fog lamps, personally owned by Lenin? A communist leader driving a Rolls Royce? Are you having a laugh? Here's what happened. In 1922, Lenin needed airplane engines for bombers during the Civil War. Britain made the best engines, but there was a trade embargo against communist Russia. Britain was in an economic depression, so they broke their own embargo and sold the engines. And to sweeten the deal, they gave Lenin a 15% discount on a brand new Rolls Royce. The man preaching equality, driving the ultimate symbol of elite wealth. There's no way to justify it. It's ludicrous. This museum is packed with secrets. From lethal duels, to Stone Age sacrifices, to myths that fall apart under scrutiny. History is never quite what it seems. I've done my part. Now it's over to you. Was Pushkin foolish to lose his cool? And are you shocked by Lenin's Rolls Royce hypocrisy? Let me know in the comments. I can't wait to catch up with you again. Until then, much love. Bye-bye. This is History Replay, this day.